Hello, welcome to the next, the truest English lesson. And so you can see how it works, how difficult it is to answer a question if you don't see words and sentences, and you can only hear it, understand. You must understand it and say it, and so it's a completely different learning. And what's the plan for today?
So the plan for today, we're going to revise a bit of Unit 28 and then finish Unit 28 and do some vocabulary exercises and probably some reading if we still have time. Thank you. Okay. So we can start.
Yes.
So we'll start with, basically we finished the revision for Unit 27. So we only do a part of Unit 28 and then continue Unit 28. Okay. And then, I don't know if you have time to do the vocabulary exercises.
Reading.
No, we do reading then.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, the part of Unit 29, sorry. So, can you tell me, like, 5 words you remember from last lesson?
Yes, but I need some idea. From lesson 27 or?
Oh, it would be good if you can tell me 28. Because it's sorry.
And it was...
Like in front of the court, when you have to say something.
It was at the very end of last lesson.
Yeah, the very
so, lean, leaning, lean on, and
90 degrees.
And the angle.
Very good.
And
in the court, when you're in the court, you're
there was swear, curse, and swear, and oath.
Very good, very good, excellent. That's all. So we can continue. So lean, leaned, land. You can translate.
Lean, land, or leaned is opierać się, oparcie.
Leaning.
Leaning, pochylony.
Very good. Lean on.
Lean on, polegać na.
Angle.
Mieć oparcie.
Angle.
Angle, kąt.
A passenger is allowed to lean out of a window on a train.
No, a passenger isn't allowed to lean out of a window on the train. On a train.
What do you need to do with a ladder before you can climb it?
I need to lean a ladder against a wall when I want to climb on it.
Okay, very good. Who can you lean on in case you need help?
I can lean on my family in case of...
In case I need help.
In case of any help.
You need help, in case you need help. Very good. Any help, basically.
Any help. In case of any help.
Do you know what angle the Leaning Tower of Pisa leans at? Leaning Tower of Pisa?
The Leaning Tower of Pisa
leans at an angle.
It leads at an angle of 4 degrees.
Very good. What's a right angle?
A right angle is an angle of 90 degrees.
Excellent. Curse.
Curse, przeklinać, przekleństwo.
Swear, swore, sworn.
Swear, swore, sworn, przeklinać, przysięgać.
Oath.
Oath, przysięga.
Great, very good. So when there's also a saying, when you swear an oath in court, you promise to tell the truth, of course. When you say, I could have sworn, you mean that you were almost certain of something. I could have sworn I seen you yesterday, for example. Yeah, it means I'm almost certain I saw you yesterday. Are the words curse and swear similar in meaning? Are the word curse and swear similar in meaning?
Yes, curse and sworn are similar in meaning.
Very good. What do some of us do when we hit our forehead on a cupboard drawer?
If we hit our forehead on a cardboard drawers, we curse in Poland.
Yeah. What animals do you think are a real curse?
Rats and some insects are a real Curse.
A real curse. Very good. Have you ever cursed yourself for not buying something which was a real bargain?
Yes, I've ever cursed myself for buying something. For not buying something what was a real bargain. Which was a real bargain.
Very good. Why shouldn't we swear in front of children?
We shouldn't swear in front of children because they imitate us.
Yeah, because they imitate us, definitely.
And they will curse too.
Very good. What do people swear when they're getting married? What do people swear when they're getting married?
People swear to love each other when they're getting married.
When they're getting married. Are witnesses in court required to swear an oath?
Yes, witnesses in court are required to swear an oath.
Very good. Give me an example of a sentence beginning with I could have sworn.
I could have sworn I've sent an email.
An email? Okay. I've sent an email
to you.
Okay, I could have sent when? Like I could have sent an email to you this morning.
Last week.
Okay, last week. In the Middle Ages, did people believe that certain places were cursed?
Yes, in the Middle Ages, some people believe that some places were cursed.
Very good. Inner. So new words. Inner, outer, layer, pastry, apple pie, lasagna. Inner, outer, layer. So layer, you can have inner and outer part, pastry, apple pie, lasagna. So you can start inner, just in English.
Inner,
outer,
layer,
pastry.
Pastry.
Very good. Apple pie.
Apple pie. Lasagna.
Okay. Inner you can translate.
Inner wewnętrzny. Outer zewnętrzny. Layer warstwa. Pastry ciasto.
Apple pie.
Jabłecznik. Lasagna.
Pastry is a mixture of water, flour, and fat, which we bake and use as an outer layer of cake or foods. Okay, what does the inner layer of an apple pie consist of? What does the inner layer of an apple pie consist of?
The inner layer of the apple pie consists of apple or pastry.
Yeah, of baked apples.
Baked apples, okay.
Baked apples, very good. Do we use pastry as the outer layer, covering the bottom, sides, and the top of apple pie? Do we use pastry as the outer layer, covering the bottom and the sides and the top of the apple pie?
Yes, we use pastry
as the outer layer.
As an outer layer, yes. Covering the bottom of the sides
and the top of an apple pie.
Oh, okay.
We'll continue. Basically, of course, the bottom, the top, and the sides of an apple pie.
Yeah, but it's about using
the layers.
Layers.
The outer layers. So it only covers the outer layer. Covering the bottom, the top. So it's the outer layer that covers the top, the bottom, and the sides.
Okay.
Very good. We'll get back to it. What's lasagna?
Lasagna is a kind of pastry. No, it's a kind of traditional Italian food dish.
Which consists of?
This consists of, I don't know,
pasta.
Vegetables, yes.
Pasta.
Pastry.
Yeah.
Pastry.
No, pasta.
Pasta.
Lasagna. Pasta.
Pasta. Okay. Pasta, vegetables, and
meat.
Okay.
Even cheese.
And cheese. Okay.
Yeah. Very good. And the sauce in between, of course. Do we use pastry as the outer layer? Do we use pastry as the outer layer covering the bottom and the top and the sides of an apple pie?
And yes, we use pastry as an outer layer or covering the top, bottom and sides of an apple pie.
Very good. Excellent, you did well. Can a clear conscience often give us a sense of inner calm? Can a clear conscience often give us a sense of inner calm?
Yes, clear conscience can often give us an inner calm.
Yeah, an inner calm, a sense of inner calm.
The sense of inner calm, okay.
How many layers of clothing do you wear in winter?
I wear 3 layers of clothing in winter.
Ah, okay. What will soon cover furniture if we don't wipe it with a cloth from time to time? What will soon cover furniture if we don't wipe it with a cloth from time to time?
The layer of dust will cover the furniture if I don't wipe it with a cloth.
From time to
time.
Very good. Excellent. So, a shawl, ensure, I forgot, a shawl, ensure, huge, big, ensure, a shawl.
Okay.
You can repeat in English only. A shawl, ensure,
in shawl,
huge. Okay, so you can translate in Polish. A shawl.
A shawl upewniać, zapewniać, zapewnić, zagwarantować, okej.
In shawl.
In shawl, zapewnić, zagwarantować.
Zagwarantować, very good.
Huge, ogromny.
Very good. Before you leave on a holiday, do you ensure that all the lights, the cooker and the gas stove are switched off? Before you leave on a holiday, do you ensure that all the lights, the cooker and the gas stove are switched off?
Yes, before I leave on a holiday, I ensure that all the lights, cooker and stove are switched off.
Very good. There's a fastened seat belt. Ensure your safety in case of a clash. There's a fastened seat belt. Ensure your safety in case of a crash.
Yes, fasten seat belts. Ensures my safety in a case of crash.
Very good. What do doctors assure patients of before an operation? What do doctors assure patients of before an operation?
Doctors ensure patients before an operation. Before an operation that everything will be fine.
Yeah, everything will be fine. That they'll do their best.
That they do their best.
Basically, what often assures a huge box office a success of a film? What often assures a huge box office success of a film?
The huge box office success of a film assure.
No, you can start directly by what assures, like what assures a huge box office success of a film.
Film stars and a good director assure
a huge
box success of a film.
Very good. In case of a failure, should parents always assure their children that everything will be alright? In case of failure, should parents always assure their children that everything will be alright?
Yes, in case of a failure, parents should assure children that everything will be okay.
Will be alright. Yeah, we'll be okay, we'll be alright. Very good. Excellent. So, railing, handrail, banister, and chain. Chain, banister, handrail, railing, and rail. You're going to repeat only in English. Rail,
rail,
railing,
railing,
handrail,
handrail,
banister,
banister,
chain.
Chain.
Okay, so you can translate rail.
Rail, poręcz,
Railing,
railing, poręcz, balustrada,
handrail,
handrail, poręcz,
banister,
banister, poręcz,
chain.
chain, łańcuch.
Very
And
good.
one moment, chain, łańcuch, przymocować łańcuchem, okay. To chain, a chain.
Ah, okay. To chain and the chain. A rail or railings are put around the place for protection. They're usually made of wooden or metal valves.
A rail and railing, okay.
Or railing. Or
Mhm.
railings are put around places for protection.
Mhm.
And they're usually made of wood basically, of wooden bars or metal bars. You find the rail or railings around parks, on ships, or in the mountains near steep slopes. A rail can also be used to provide support. For example, a handrail. A handrail is usually used to fix a wall. Where do you find railings? Where do you find railings?
I find railings around parks. Okay.
And on ships.
Ships.
Yeah.
Okay. Parks and ships.
Yeah, or in mountains near steep slopes.
I mean parks, not around the park, but inside the park. Yes?
No, around the parks.
Around the park.
Around parks. For
Uh,
protection, you know. You find the railings around parks, on ships, or in mountains near steep
okay.
slopes. Because they usually to protect the
yeah,
place,
but
so
I
it's
don't know.
usually around.
Yeah. But in England there are really fence. It's a big fence, not railing, and in Poland at all. So I don't know what kind of parks they are. The offer meant where was it, because okay, but in parks, okay, parks, ships and mountains. Yes, in the mountains.
Yeah.
At,
So where do you
shore.
find railings?
I find railings around parks, ships. On ships and in the mountains.
Near steep slopes.
Yeah, near steep slopes.
Very good. What do you hold on to when you climb the stairs? What do you hold on to when you climb the stairs?
When I climb stairs, I hold onto hand railing.
A handrail.
Handrail.
Handrail only. Did you used to slide down the banister when you were a child? Did you used to slide down the banister when you were a child?
No, I didn't slide the banister when I was.
Didn't used to slide.
Okay, I didn't used to slide down the banister when I was a child.
Very good. Have you ever heard about a child who got his head stuck in the railings? Have you ever heard about a child who got his head stuck in the railings?
No, I've never heard about a child
who got his head.
Who's got his head stuck in the railings.
Very good. Why do people chain their bikes to park railings? Why do people chain their bikes? Why do people chain their bikes to park railings?
People chain their bikes to park railings
so that they aren't stolen.
So they are not stolen. Yes.
Yeah. So they don't steal them, basically, to ensure their protection. What could happen if someone leaned out too far over a railing above a steep slope? What could happen if someone leaned out too far over a railing above a steep slope?
If somebody leaned out too far off over a railing above a steep slope, the person could
lose balance and fall down. Could fall down, basically.
Could fall down. Yes.
Yeah, and falling down the slope, it means you're going to exactly.
Folder.
Roll till the end. Do hip hop singers wear heavy gold chains? Do hip hop singers wear heavy gold chains?
Yes, hip hop singers wear
Heavy gold
chains.
Very good. Track. New word. Track. Platform. Compartment. Carriage. Announce. Carriage. Compartment. Platform. Track. Very good. So we start now. Track only in English.
Track.
Platform. Compartment. Carriage. Announce. Okay, track, you can translate.
Tractor.
Platform.
Peron.
Compartment.
Przedział.
Carriage.
Wagon.
Announce.
Ogłaszać.
Okay, very good. What do you need to know to find your seat on a train? What do you need to know to find your seat on a train?
I need to know the seat number and carriage number to find my seat on the
number
train.
of the carriage, and the seat number. Okay, fine. Very good. The number of the seat or the
the number of compartments.
or the compartment in which your seat is in.
Yes.
Yeah. Do you prefer a smoking or do you prefer a smoking or a non-smoking compartment? Do you prefer smoking or non-smoking compartment?
I prefer not smoking compartment.
A non-smoking.
Non-smoking compartment.
Very good. Where do you get on and off a train at a railway station? Where do you get on and off a train at a railway station?
At the railway station, I get on and off a train on a platform.
Excellent. What information do passengers find on a train timetable, besides the time trains arrive and depart from the station? What information do passengers find on the train timetable besides the time trains arrive and depart from the station?
The passengers find on the timetable.
Train timetable.
Train timetable on. But it's next to the times arrivals and departures, the platform number.
Yeah, exactly. As easy as that. I know.
Okay.
What's usually announced a few minutes before the arrival of a train? What's usually announced a few minutes before the arrival of a train?
A few minutes before arrival of a train, they announce the number of the platform and the track.
The train is going to arrive on.
The train is going to arrive on.
Very good. Excellent.
And on a platform, the question before, it was on a platform or at the platform?
No, it was like, what information do passengers find on a train timetable besides time trains arrive and depart from the station?
And even before, it was no smoke. A train on a platform. Okay. On a platform.
Yeah, on a platform. Okay, you good?
Yeah.
Great. So time for you to ask me questions. You can platform.
Do you go by train here?
Yes, I've traveled by train a couple times.
So, what platform do trains leave to Poznan?
Very good question.
To Poznan.
No, Poznan, because I have.
Yeah.
Is it platform 4?
No.
3?
No.
Do I know? 2?
5 always.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
So
I knew it was during the end because I went to Poznan once and I actually missed my train and I took another one because there usually apparently trains going to Poznan all the time. So I missed mine around 9 and took another one. And I think it was around, that's why I said 4 at first, because I thought it was around 4. Yeah, well, so it's 5 because 4 and 5 are basically next to each other. Okay, so 4. Handrail.
Handrail. What do you grab when you go up the stairs? I should use
Hold.
What do you hold? Do you
Hold on
do you hold on
to
handrail?
What do you hold on to when you climb the stairs?
Yeah, but to use this word, we are about that. I use this word. So, do you hold a handrail when you step? When you climb the stairs?
Yes. When I do handrails, when I climb the stairs, I hold on to them. In shore.
Do you ensure that your stove, TV, lights in the bathroom are switched off before you leave? Before you leave.
Yeah, before I leave the house.
Yeah,
before I leave the house, yeah, I ensure that the TV, the lights, right, and the stove are turned off. The only thing I don't turn on is the heater.
Okay.
Yeah, apparently you should, but I don't do it. Okay, let's see. Lasagna.
Are you able to prepare lasagna on your own?
Yes,
Yes.
I can be able to prepare lasagna on my own. I did it once. Yeah. I can do it. Layer, and then I'll ask you one last question.
How many layers is lasagna or apple pie made of?
How many layers of? More, it depends. Lasagna usually because there's the meat, there's the pasta, there's the cheese, or vegetables. More, they can all be, even the apple pie. You have pastry, you have the apples. They're usually minimum between 3. Minimum 3, at least 3 layers each. And then one last question. Swear.
Swear, okay. Have you ever had to swear an oath in the court of law?
No, I've never had to swear in the court of law. Okay, so there's some questions here, like some discussion questions. So on disease. What do we call a disease which spreads by physical contact?
Contagious disease are spread by physical contact.
What do we call a disease which spreads through the air?
Infectious disease are spread by the air. Through the air.
Very good. What do people do in order to become immune to certain illnesses?
People vaccinate to become immune to certain illnesses.
Very good. What kind of flu has recently become well known?
Coronavirus is recently become very known.
Kind of flu.
Kind of very known flu.
Yeah, type of flu. Because it's in the family of flu.
Yeah.
And many people get vaccinated against it in your country.
This one or general?
Yeah, because you answered coronavirus,
okay.
which is
Did
many people get vaccinated against it in your country?
No people are vaccinated against it.
in my country
in my
because
country?
the vaccination is not
yeah,
even
yeah.
out yet. There's no
I
vaccination.
think I don't.
You think that it's what?
I think it's not really worth. If you have another diseases, then you have a real problem. And, and I have 0.29% that I will die on it. Chance.
Oh, chances.
Because of my age, and this is it, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, really?
and the rest is it's just the flu. It's
Mhm.
nothing more like.
Do you realize that more people die of ordinary flu than bird flu? Do you realize that most people die of ordinary flu than bad flu?
Yeah, because bird flu was very popular when they were writing this book. That's why it's bird flu. And
Yeah, but they say more people die of ordinary flu than bad flu.
Okay.
Do you realize it
Yeah,
or
yeah,
not?
yeah.
Or do you think people die more of bad flu? You think people die more of which type of flu?
I think more people die on ordinary flu than specifically on bird flu.
Okay. Why do more people want to get vaccinated against bad flu then? Why do more people want to get vaccinated against bad flu?
Bird flu, okay. Most people want to get vaccinated against bird flu because they think it will help them not to die.
Yeah. Oh, because they think it's a more serious condition of flu than probably an ordinary flu. I don't know. Yeah, but people get more vaccinated against the bad flu. That's true.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. Very good. So we're only going to do the small part and then we'll do some reading. Estimate. 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 Estimation. Estimation.
Okay.
I'll say slowly. Estimation. Estimate. And estimate. Estimate. Estimation. So those are the same. Estimate, estimation, estimate, and then estimate with M-A-T. Okay? So estimate.
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 Very good. Estimate. Estimate.
Estimate.
Estimation.
Estimation.
Okay, so estimate.
Estimate, oceniać, oszacować, estimate.
So estimate. Estimate.
An estimate, ocena. And let me check.
Estimation.
Same accent.
Estimation.
And estimation, ocenianie.
Zadanie, whatever.
Zadanie, estimation, zadanie, i szacunek.
So go up and down in somebody's estimation. It's be more or less respected by somebody. So if I say I hold you in high estimation or up in estimation, it means I respect you more. If it's my estimation for you is, down, so I respect you less. So can you try to translate it in Polish? Go up and down in somebody's estimation.
Go up and down in somebody's estimation, czyli zyskiwać lub tracić w czyjejś ocenie.
Okay, very good. At a rough estimate, how much do you need to finish this stage? At a rough estimate, how much do you need to finish this stage?
At a rough estimate, I need like 29. I need like 5 more lessons to finish this stage.
Okay. Is it easy to estimate the future value of shares? Is it easy to estimate the future value of shares?
No, it's hard to estimate the real value of
the future value
of shares.
It's hard. Okay, but it's possible. How many people do you estimate suffer from famine in Africa? How many people do you estimate suffer from famine in Africa?
Famine.
Yeah.
Famine.
How many people do you estimate suffer from famine in Africa? Hunger. Do I estimate?
Over 3 million people suffer from. I estimate that about more than 3 million people estimate from hunger, suffer from famine in Africa.
Okay. In your estimation, who's been the best prime minister in your country? In your estimation, who's been the best prime minister in your country? Yeah, just say
in my estimation.
Say the name.
Yeah, I'm trying. I'm trying.
You don't like any of them?
Yeah, like the Morawiecki, I don't know his name. Morawiecki has been the best prime minister in my country.
Okay, very good. What does a person have to do to go down in your estimation? What does a person have to do to go down in your estimation?
In my estimation, a person has to curse a lot to go down in my estimation.
Okay. You like. Okay, very good. So, well, you can ask me one question with estimate since we didn't finish it either way.
And what a person has What does a person have to do to go up in your estimation?
Okay, a person have to be supportive or teach me something new to go up in my estimation.
Okay.
So very good. You can do 25.
Reading. Yes.
Yeah, reading.
Inferior, superior, superiority complex, inferiority complex, rank, sergeant, major. Do you get superior quality at a low price? No, I don't get superior quality at a low price. You get inferior quality. Do younger children usually feel inferior to their elder brothers or sisters? Yes, younger children usually feel inferior to their older brothers and sisters. Which rank in the army is superior to sergeant? The rank of major or captain is superior to sergeant in the army. What does it mean to strip a soldier of his rank? To strip a soldier of his rank means to punish him by giving him a lower position. When are you likely to feel a superiority complex? You're likely to feel a superiority complex when you're quickly promoted to a high rank. As a person who suffers from an inferiority complex usually diminish or exaggerate their achievements. A person who suffers from an inferiority complex usually diminish their achievements. Who can a customer complain to if an employee doesn't attend to him properly? If an employee doesn't attend to a customer properly, the customer can complain to the employee's immediate superior. Motion, motionless, motion sickness, signal, set something in motion. What makes people seasick when on a boat? The rocking motion of the boat makes people seasick on a boat. What's motion sickness? Motion sickness is an unpleasant feeling that people have when they're traveling in a vehicle. Are you allowed to get off a train? It's still in motion. No, you're not allowed to get off a train. It's still in motion. When is a murder investigation set in motion? A murder investigation is set in motion when the body of the victim has been found. What can you use instead of signal? You can use motion instead of signal. For what reasons do policemen motion for drivers to stop? Policemen motion for drivers to stop mostly because of speeding. What do you do when you want the receipt in a restaurant? When I want the receipt in a restaurant, I motion to the waiter. What would you have to see to stand absolutely motionless? I'd had to see a big rat or a snake to stand absolutely motionless. What do you signal which way you're going to turn when you're riding a bike? I signal which way I'm going to turn by raising my hand when I'm riding a bike. By raising my hand when I'm riding a bike. What did they use as a danger or a warning signal in the past? They used church bells, danger or a warning signal in the past. Establish, established, establishment, mine. When was the European Union established? The European Union was established in 1952. Which is one of the oldest businesses in the world. One of the oldest businesses in the world is the Wieliczka salt mine in Poland. When was it established? It was established in 1044. What kind of companies have to establish strict security procedures? Banks, stores and jewelers have to establish strict security procedures. Give me an example of a well-established company with a good reputation. Siemens is an excellent example of a well-established company with a good reputation. What do the police have to establish when they set a murder investigation in motion? The police have to establish the cause of death when they set a murder investigation in motion. Is McDonald's one of the best-known, well-managed establishments in the world? Yes, McDonald's is one of the best-known and well-managed establishments in the world. Shrink, shrank, shrunk, shrinkage. Do some clothes shrink when you wash them? Yes, some clothes shrink when you wash them. Do you ever buy a larger size of t-shirt to allow for shrinkage? Yes, I sometimes buy a larger size of t-shirt to allow for shrinkage. What has the size of the workforce in Poland been shrinking since admission to the EU? The size of workforce in Poland has been shrinking since admission to the EU because many Poles have gone to work abroad. For which companies is the shrinkage of the dollar damaging? For those which import or for those which export goods? The shrinkage of the dollar is damaging for those companies which export goods. Predict, prediction, fulfill. Do scientists try to learn how to predict natural disasters? Yes, scientists try to learn how to predict natural disasters. Do you think the predictions about the effects of global warming will be fulfilled one day? Yes, I think that the predictions about the effects of global warming will be fulfilled one day. What do they carry out before an election to predict the results? They carry out a survey before an election to predict the results. Who do you predict will become the next president of your town? I predict that John Smith will become the next president of my town. Do you agree with my prediction that within 20 years the domestic market for second-hand cars will shrink severely? Yes, I agree with your prediction that within 20 years the domestic market for second-hand cars will shrink severely. What will happen if my prediction is fulfilled? The market for new cars will probably grow if your prediction is fulfilled. What functions do kindergartens fulfill? Kindergartens fulfill the function of preparing children for school. Do you feel fulfilled in your job? No, I don't feel fulfilled in my job. Gamble, gambling, payoff. What's the capital of gambling? Las Vegas is the capital of gambling. What's the most important factor in gambling? Luck's the most important factor in gambling. What do people try to do when they gamble? People try to predict the results of a game when they gamble. Does gambling on the stock exchange ever pay off? Yes, gambling on the stock exchange sometimes pays off. What is often the result if a person is addicted to gambling? If a person is addicted to gambling, the result is often that they end up having enormous debts.
Excellent. Have you ever gambled?
In Las Vegas? No, I've never gambled in Las Vegas.
But you've gambled before?
What?
But you have gambled before in somewhere else?
Yeah. Yes.
Similar to gambling?
Yeah, I gambled. I played Jack. What's the name of Jack something?
What?
This Jack is a machine that you pull. It's one something Jack.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
okay. Oh, so you tried that. Okay. What do you think is the most important factor in gambling?
The most important luck is the most important factor in gambling.
Okay, very good. What are your predictions for the next months, coming months basically, with this coronavirus pandemic? Do you predict that things will go back to normal?
Yes, I predict that the things will come back to normal next month.
Next month? Okay,
Yes.
very good. Okay. Do you have any clothes that shrinks when you wash them?
Right now,
No.
I think I don't have any clothes that shrink when I wash them.
Okay, very good.
Shrink more and more.
When was Lingua Pro established? When was Lingua Pro established?
Lingua Pro was established 14 years ago.
2 years ago. Excellent. Okay. Can you tell me what rank is superior to sergeant in the army?
Major is the rank superior to sergeant in the army.
Yeah, rank superior to sergeant in the army. Very good. Have you ever had motion sickness?
I think I've never had a motion sickness.
Okay, you never had motion sickness. Okay, what set a modern investigation into motion?
The cause of death sets a murder investigation in motion.
Very good. Do you know anybody that suffers from inferiority complex?
Yes, I suffer from
No, do you know anyone?
Yeah, I know someone who suffers from inferiority complex. Inferiority complex.
Very good. Signal.
Yes, signal.
So signal. How do you signal? For example, in the streets, how do you signal somebody you know if they're like halfway through across from you, across the road? How do you signal them?
Once again,
how do you signal in the street? How do you signal a person you know when they're across the road from you? Do you call them? How do you signal them? Do you raise your hands?
I signal the person by raising my hands if the person crossed the street.
Is across the street from you?
Is crossing?
Across.
Is across the street. Is across the street.
From where you are. Okay.
From where I am.
So how do you drivers signal? Because you're a driver, you drive a car. How do drivers signal each other when you want to go, for example, in front of the other car, when you want to pass in front?
They use long lights when they signal, shortly when they signal that they want to
To pass in front, or
to pass in front. But I'm thinking about what we had in the lesson, like yield something that was, or give the way when they want to give the way somebody.
when you want to give away somebody, yeah, but it wouldn't have anything to do with
But
that.
there was some other words, but okay,
Yeah.
I need to learn more to have it on my mind very quickly.
Only I know override, to override somebody, but that I wouldn't say you're gonna use that.
To let somebody go,
Mhm.
you use
Okay.
long lines, I think.
Very good. Excellent. So we're good. Can you do unit 26? We still have time. So you do unit 26.
Mhm.
Read.
Read, yes?
Mhm.
Read, okay. And attract, exaggerate, precisely. What's the exact time right now? The exact time right now is 5:35. Is your watch accurate? Yes, my watch is accurate. Does the lesson start precisely at 5 o'clock? Yes, the lesson starts precisely at 5 o'clock. Are most people able to distinguish a genuine painting from a copy? If the copy is very exact, no, most people aren't able to distinguish a genuine painting from a copy if the copy is very exact. What do we use when we repeat someone's exact words? We use inverted commas when we repeat someone's exact words. For what kind of job must you be very precise and skilled? You must be very precise and skilled for the job of a surgeon. Do doctors know what the precise cause of a cancer? No, doctors don't know what the precise cause of cancer is. Do some twins look precisely the same? Yes, some twins look precisely the same. Why is it so difficult to predict the weather accurately? It's difficult to predict the weather accurately because many factors have to be taken into account. Molecule, hydrogen, combine. Which gas is the lightest? Hydrogen is the lightest gas. What does hydrogen combine with to form water? Hydrogen combines with oxygen to form water. What does a molecule of water consist of? A molecule of water consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. What features do modern mobile phones combine? Modern mobile phones combine features of a telephone, a camera and a computer. Is it difficult for a woman to combine her career with bringing up the children? Yes, it's difficult for a woman to combine her career with bringing up the children. Reserve, make a reservation, alright, reserve in advance. What can we say instead? To book a hotel room, we can say to reserve a hotel room, or to make a reservation instead of to book a hotel room. What things do we usually have to reserve in advance? We usually have to reserve plane tickets, hotel rooms, or a table in a restaurant in advance. Is it possible to make a reservation in a hotel if there are no vacant rooms? No, it isn't possible to make a reservation in a hotel if there are no vacant rooms. Is it a tradition in your house to reserve a seat for an unexpected guest on Christmas Eve? Yes, it's a tradition in my house to reserve a seat for an unexpected guest on Christmas Eve. What do the words all rights reserved mean? The words all rights reserved mean that the owners of a book or film have the only authority to publish it. Novelty whereof. Give me an example of something which was still a novelty in the first part of the 20th century. Cars and television were still a novelty in the first part of the 20th century. Are hydrogen-powered cars a novelty? Yes, hydrogen-powered cars are a novelty. Why do we say that the novelty wears off? We say that the novelty wears off because we quickly become bored and accustomed to new things. If you drank alcohol, how long would it take before the effects of drinking wore off? If I drank alcohol, it would take 12 hours before the effects of drinking wore off. Decimal dozen. How much is a dozen? A dozen's 12. Is the decimal system based on the dozen? No, the decimal system isn't based on the dozen but on tens. What does the decimal fraction 1.2 stands for? The decimal fraction 1.2 stands for and 2 tenths. What kind of things are sold by the dozen? Eggs are sold by the dozen. Conscious, clear conscious, guilty conscious. What's freedom of conscious? Freedom of conscious is the freedom to do things we believe are right. Are you guided by your conscience? Yes, I'm guided by my conscience. What kind of people have severe crimes on their conscience? Murders, robbers and burglars have severe crimes on their conscience. Why do some criminals decide to confess? Some criminals decide to confess in order to have a clear conscience. Do you have a guilty conscience if you're done nothing wrong? Yes, I don't have. No, you don't have a guilty conscience if you've done nothing wrong. You have a clear conscience. Detach, hood, zip, zipper, velcro. What's the opposite to attach? The opposite of attach is detach. Do some types of jackets have hoods which can be detached? Yes, some types of jackets have hoods which can be detached. What do we use to attach the hood to a jacket? We use a zipper, velcro, or buttons to attach the hood to a jacket. What do you have to do if your zip is stuck? If your zip is stuck, you have to pull it back or pull it down. How old must a puppy be before you can safely detach it from its mother? A puppy must be at least 3 months old before you can safely detach it from its mother.
Do you have a wood attached jacket? Do you have a hood attached jacket?
Yes, I have a hood attached jacket.
Okay, very good. Can you detach it?
Yes, I can detach it.
With?
Detach it with a zip.
Okay, very good. Excellent. So, what's freedom of conscience to you? What's freedom of conscience?
The freedom of conscience.
Freedom of conscience. How would you define it?
Freedom of conscience is the freedom to
do things
that
I believe
are right.
Very
Okay.
good. You can say that. What things are sold by dozens?
Eggs are sold by dozen. A dozen.
By the dozen. Very good. Do you have a guilty conscience when you do something wrong?
Yes, I have a guilty conscience if I have done something wrong.
Okay. Well, if you drank alcohol, how long would it take? How long, usually when you drink alcohol, how long does it take for it to wear off?
It takes 12 hours to...
For you, usually.
For me to take the alcohol off.
For the effects of the alcohol to wear off. Okay.
To get the effects off.
For the effects to wear off.
To wear off.
Okay, what do the words "all right reserved" mean?
All rights reserved means that only the author of a book or film, yes, can have rights to publish it.
Okay.
authority. Yes, there was an
Mhm.
authority to publish it.
The authority to publish it. What's the exact time right now?
An exact time right now is 3 minutes past 1.
Okay. Is your watch accurate?
No, my watch isn't accurate.
So what are the molecule of water? What does a molecule of water consist of?
And a molecule of water consists of 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen.
Okay, very good. Can you tell me also what do you reserve in advance before you go on holidays?
I reserve a hotel room in advance.
Only hotel room?
And a plane ticket in advance.
Okay, in advance. Okay, very good then. So, thank you very much. Tell me like 7 words you remember from today.
Today, what was today? Today was estimate,
No, those were estimate.
Estimate, estimation,
Mm-hmm.
and
When you go up the stairs.
yes, it was handrail.
Rail. Mm-hmm. Around the park.
There were rails.
Mm-hmm. Rails
Rail.
and.
Railings. Yes.
Very good. Mm-hmm.
And
What do rappers wear around their neck? What do rappers wear around their neck?
and a chain,
Mm-hmm.
inner,
Chains.
outer layer.
Okay.
lasagna.
Lasagna.
And-
The outer layer. Very good. Yeah, excellent. That's all.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
Thank you. Bye.